What LA teachers won with their strike and why some parents aren't thrilled. Thousands of Los Angeles teachers returned to the classroom Wednesday after their 6-day strike reaped an array of wins, but they didn't get everything they wanted, and some parents are wishing for more. Still, most of the 34,000 members of the United Teachers Los Angeles Union were satisfied with a deal struck between the UTLA leaders and the Los Angeles Unified School District. All right, so what did the teachers union get? Smaller class sizes. This was a huge deal for teachers. So here's the new deal. Class sizes in grades 4 through 12 will be reduced by one student, I guess that means. In the 2019-2020 school year, 1 in 2021, 2 in 2022. So that's 4 students over the course of 4 years. In addition, classes in grades 3 and lower will be capped at 24 to 27 students. Why can't they do that everywhere? They should do that everywhere. Okay, so that's a little disappointing. 4 students over the course of 4 years. And somebody tweeted that when I sent this article. They're like, if you have 50 students, is 46 really going to make a crazy difference? Okay. But, let's see what else they won. More nurses. Okay, that's good. LAUSD will add 300 school nurses over the next 2 years. These permanent hires means every school will finally have a nurse. Good. More counselors. Over the next 3 years, LAUSD will add 77 new counselors, which will reduce the student-to-counselor ratio to about 500 to 1. I think that should be lower, but at least there's more of them. It should be lower than 500 to 1 is what I mean. It should be higher than 77. You guys see what I'm saying? There should be more counselors. If the ratio is still 500 to 1, I think that ratio should be lower. That's what I meant when I said lower. But this is better, at least. More librarians. LAUSD said it will add 82 librarians to all secondary schools. Okay. This will allow all middle schools and high schools to have a teacher librarian. Good. That's important. Teacher raises. The school district agreed to a combined 6% raise for teachers. That's good. It should be higher, but that's good. The teachers union had asked for 6.5. They settled for 6. All right. How much will all this cost? It really doesn't frickin' matter because the budget wasn't being used right in the first place. And look, they shouldn't have had to ask for this stuff. But it's going to cost $175 million over the next 2 school years, $225 million in the 2022 school year. So where will this money come from? A portion will come from assigned reserves, and a portion will come from an anticipated increase in state revenue. And I also wish that they would do a huge house cleaning on what's really going on within these schools, because I have a feeling the businessman running this isn't utilizing already existing financial resources properly. So I would like a very transparent, very extensive house cleaning too. I don't know if we'll get that, but that would be ideal. So LA teacher strike. There were some wins. Was it quite as extensive as I think everyone was hoping for? No, I mean 4 students over the course of 4 years. That's not good. For K through 3, capping it at 24 to 27, that is good. I wish they would have done that everywhere, but at least they're doing it on some level, so that's good. The pay raise is good. Wish it could have been a little higher, but it's good. The nurse thing is good. That's a win. The librarian thing, that's definitely a win. The counselor thing, I still think 500 to 1 is a lot. I think you need more counselors. I mean, and I would be curious to see how the class sizes break down too. Because, I mean, I guess if it's 500 to 1 overall in a high school, that's not as... I mean, in my high school, I didn't go to a huge school, so we had about 900 people at my high school, just about. And we had one counselor, and that counselor had an assistant. And that was not quite enough, but we could make it work because really, you really only become an intense counselor when people are juniors and seniors in high school, right? Freshman, sophomore, you're not really... now, unless there's an incident or something like that, but for the most part, juniors and seniors, I didn't see my school counselor until my junior year. Why? Because I was applying to colleges. And for the most part, that's really when a school counselor comes in. Now, when there's a school shooting every other frickin' day, the requirements of that job certainly shift and become much more intense. But, speaking from my case, but nonetheless, 500 to 1 seems high in this case. And I'd imagine in a much bigger situation like Los Angeles, one of the biggest cities in the country, there's a lot of people, obviously. You're going to have more, for instances, of dealing with issues of bullying. You're going to have more, for instance, of dealing with issues of just, situations in the classroom between student-teacher that you might have to intervene, et cetera, et cetera. There's just going to be more of those problems because there's just more people. I'm assuming. I've never walked into a Los Angeles high school, but I'm assuming that's the case. There's just more people. More people, more problems, right? So I feel like there should be more counselors, but an increase by 77, that's something. That's definitely something. So good. And 77, I think, is a lucky number. 77, great year for punk rock. Important year for music. So hopefully that'll be... There will be some karma smiling, right? There will be a school counselor that turns someone on to the music and work of Joe Strummer, tying it into music. All right, so that's how the LA strike ended. There's definitely some wins. I think everybody probably wanted a little bit more, but the strike was still successful, and that's awesome. And shout out to all the teachers and all the supporters that made it happen, and they made it happen in the rain. Which, hey, this is SoCal. We don't do the rain.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news